church friends. I'm so glad that you're with me today. I hope it's been a great week for you. Our affirmation for this week is, I can grow and learn through all experience. And what that means is everything we've been through in life teaches us something, which is pretty cool. So the Bible verse that we're going to think about today is in Matthew 11, and it's Matthew 11, 28 through 30. Let me read it to you. All you who labor and who are overburdened, come to me, and I will refresh you. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, because I am gentle and modest, and your lives will find repose. For my yoke is comfortable and my load is light. Confucius says, when you see a good man, try to emulate his example, and when you see a bad man, search yourself for his faults. So those are some heavy things to think about. So let's go ahead and listen to a story about today. This is called The Red and Blue Coat, and it's a folk tale, meaning it's a story from the Congo, which is in Africa. There were once two childhood friends who promised to remain close and loyal companions for all their lives. When they grew up and married, they built houses facing one another. There was but a small lane between their two farms, and they each loved to work so near to the other. Every morning, the friends would call out a greeting across the lane, and their wives would wave and smile to each other as well. Everyone in the village knew of the strong friendship and believed it to be a blessing for all. However, there was one man, Akono, who was jealous of his friends, and he decided to trick them. He thought it might be fun to give the friendship a test. So one day, Akono stopped by the lane and visited with the two men while they were eating their lunch together in the shade. While they talked, Akono boasted about his new coat that he had made. The cloth was brilliant in color, and no other coat in the whole village was as beautiful. The two friends naturally asked to see the wondrous coat, so Akono promised to walk down their lane on his way to the market in the morning wearing his new coat. Akono prepared for the coat for the test that night. First, he cut one red coat in half and a blue one in half, and then he sewed one red half and one blue half together to make the coat that was blue on the left side and red on the right side. He walked out of the village in the morning and slipped the coat on just as he approached the lane. The two friends had been up early, working in the field as usual. Akono called out in greeting and walked down the lane between them. The friend on the left saw the beautiful blue coat and waved. The friend on the right saw the beautiful red coat and waved. Later, while eating their lunch in the shade, the friend from the left side said, "Akono's blue coat is beautiful, isn't it?" The friend from the right side of the lane exclaimed, "It was a beautiful red coat. Do you suddenly have a problem with your eyes?" "I know what I saw," insisted the first friend. "It was bright blue." "Do you think I am stupid? Are you trying to trick me? The coat was as red as the flower in the fields, and that's the truth," yelled the friend from the left side of the road. They all argued through their lunch and even kept yelling at each other across the lane as they worked throughout the day. Both insisted the other was wrong and would not consider letting go of their anger. As evening approached, Akono walked back down the lane, returning from the market. He lifted his hand in greeting and smiled at the two angry friends as he passed. The friend on the left of the lane stopped his work and stared at the bright red coat. The friend on the right side of the lane was astonished to see a beautiful blue coat. They both ran into the lane and watched the man in the two-color coat walk away toward the village. One friend raised his fist in anger and yelled, "Akono, you tricked us and destroyed our friendship. You're a troublemaker." As his two friends stood there, their anger turned to shame. Then one of them said, "It's not really his fault. We were both so right, we didn't consider any other possibility." The other said, "Next time you tell me something, I promise I'll listen." "And I promise I'll never waste another day being angry and stubborn," said the first friend. Then he added, "Are we still friends?" And they both laughed. They remained friends for life and always considered the day of the two-color coat and the day that their friendship grew stronger with pride. That's an interesting story. So I have a couple questions for you that I want you to talk about with the adults around you. Why would the two friends be considered a blessing for the entire village? So what could the village have learned about those two friends? Have you ever disagreed with a friend over something little or maybe big? What was the situation? How did you fix it? Could the story have maybe ended another way? What do you think could have happened? What if they never let go of their anger and were never friends again? What do you think that would mean for the people around them? So I want you to think about maybe a big mistake or a small mistake that you've made in your life. And now that time has passed, what you've learned from it. I remember when I was younger and I was riding my bike and I was going really, really fast down a hill. I wasn't wearing a helmet. I didn't want to wear it even though my mom wanted me to. And so I fell and I bonked my head and I scraped all over. And I learned from that mistake to always wear a helmet. And I make sure my kids wear helmets now too. So why don't you think about a mistake you've made and maybe what you did to solve that later on. All right, let's go ahead and pray. Dear God, thank you for letting us learn from our mistakes. Help us to open our eyes and our ears and our hearts to learn from the things that we've done, and so how we can know how to live better. Amen. Well, church friends, I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. Bye.